money back, woo. Money back, money back, money back. With me pretty too, they look like bridesmaids. And they all gang, so don't be talking sideways.
And, Coach, we find ourselves due east from our nation's capital at FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Washington Redskins. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. Brissett to throw on first. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Nice little nifty play for him there. That's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backs out of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pick up on first down. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And a nice carry there of 15 yards. Well, no slow start here. A couple nice chunk plays back-to-back.
I love the momentum that they're showing here early because they did it both ways, right? Threw the ball on first down for a nice chunk of yardage. Came right back and ran the ball. Looks like they've got the defense set back on their heels. Let's see if they can keep this moving.
Brissett on first down. And complete to Zach Ertz. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 23 yards on the play.
Well, he's looking sharp right from the get-go here. Tough division. They needed this kind of a start. But I think this is part of where scripting comes in. We always hear about the scripting of plays, how they're going to be called. Everyone dress rehearses their script, and right now they're following it to a tick.
And for that opening drive, so part of the script still to come, right, partner?
Yeah, no doubt about it. We've got a ways to go with that, but you can tell that they worked on the script the entire week in practice, and it's paying off for them.
A second down run for Abdullah. And nowhere for him to go again. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. Deron Payne, the big D tackle there to make the stop. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
On third down, Brissett. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a first down. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Brissett. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
So a nice drive on the road. You come in, you take the ball down, you get 3 points.
Yeah, points are a must on an opening drive, right? So they moved it down efficiently, got it done. I think that bodes well for their chances moving forward in this one.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. On 1st and 10, here's Barrett. This one caught by Crowder. Broke a tackle, but not much room there ultimately. Just up past the 25 and no further. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
And this one complete to Reed. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
From the gun on 3rd down. Barrett finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he will be knocked down hard, but he will have the first down. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. On the handoff, it's Geis. 4 yards there on the carry, gets it back to 2nd and 11.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
On 2nd down, Barrett got his man complete over the middle. It's Hodges. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. To throw on 3rd down, Barrett. Looking long for its tight end lead. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
First down, Brissett. There's the flash of Abdullah, and he'll be stopped right at midfield. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Jeffrey reels it in over the middle. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
A first down throw for Brissett. The connection here with Nelson Aguilar. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. A good pickup there, a 22. Brissett going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 6 for 6 here to start the ball game. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Orleans Darkwa, a 15-yard touchdown run. And the Eagles add 6 to their lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Elliott now to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to launch this thing. They've got his man complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. They go play action here on first down. He's going to float this one deep right side. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off at the 21. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. And he may want to to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
They start the drive with a duel. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. A gain of 3, second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
A second down throw for Brissett. He finds Aguilar over the middle. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. They'll run here. Abdullah. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a fourth down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
The punter Bosher on now as he gets this one away. Oh, he's going to go ahead and field it from the 3-yard line. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A very solid gain of 27. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back to FedEx Field following this short break. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Barrett looks to throw on first. Crowder's got it over the middle. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. On first down, this is Geis. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Barrett now on 2nd down. On the catch, it's Crowder. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Gone. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
To throw is Barrett. Going for it all. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And Hopkins' kick is good. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So they do get the 3 points before they hit halftime, something to build on maybe.
Yeah, go ahead and raise the banner, right? Wave the flag. That's good. Got points, and now, as you said, they've got something to build on as they get ready for the second half.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
Come on, let's go. What? 90. What? 90.
Off the play fake. Here's Brissett. And the Redskins do get to him. He goes down for a sack. Star Latulippe coming up the middle, gets him there for a loss of about 9. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19.
Flex round. Flex round. Flex round. Flex round. Let's go. What? 90. What? 90.
Here's Brissett. Jeffrey with a catch left side. And he'll lose yardage on this one back to the 13. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
Let's go. What? 90. What? 90.
So we've reached halftime here on opening week. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Redskins offense, they get set to go back to work here. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Here's Barrett on play action. Out to the left here to Reed. Jordan Reed. He's at the 30. And he is taken down deep in Philadelphia territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 58 yards.
As we continue to advance in the NFL, as people continue to scout players, they really don't care as much about body types as they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run after catch. Anybody has that ability, they want them on their team.
And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11. Throwing here, Barrett. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Fletcher Cox with a great push up front. He picks up the sack and a loss of 8. And now they're looking for 19 yards here on 3rd down following 2 negative plays.
Leopard! Leopard! All right, here we go. Blue 90! Blue 90!
Flag comes in. This might be a free play. That's going to be caught. So, of course, they declined that there. They knew they had the free play. They got great yardage out of it.
It's kind of like when we were at dinner last night. You saw me reach for the check, so you ordered dessert on top of it, right? You say you had the free play.
Yeah.
Right? Already
pie.
have what you needed. Go ahead and get a little more on top. I like it.
So the ball's moved to about the 1 after the penalty, 1st and goal. They'll run it now out of the gun into a mass of bodies, and I think they held him out. They did. Call it no gain, and it's going to be 2nd and goal.
I don't know about you, Brandon, but I often think to myself, in these situations, I want a back who can create his own space, who can break tackles, and in a sense, become his own blocker. We don't have that guy in the game right now.
Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Here's Barrett looking to throw, and he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. Derek Barnett coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down. So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. And Hopkins' kick is good. And that'll bring them back within 4. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the 2nd half.
Let's go! White 90! White 90!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get about 7 yards on that one, up to around the 33.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
Flex round! Flex round!
They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Play action now. Brissett. And that is incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half. Incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. He's going to field this at the 4. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line.
I have to think a major focus at a halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Timmy Jernigan, the Florida State man, in on the stop. The Redskins on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7.
Detroit! Detroit!
On third, here's an option play right. He can run for it, and he will. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. That one will go for 9 yards and a first down on the keeper.
Well, if you're going to run the read option, typically, you've got to keep an eye on the defensive end.
And what does that mean? What are you looking for with a defensive end?
Well, you want to play off of what he does. If he collapses inside towards the running back, then you pull it and take it yourself outside in. If he stays outside, you go ahead and leave it with the running back. In this case, pulled it and got good yardage himself.
Being chased out left. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir, able to turn that into a positive gain.
Detroit! Detroit! Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
Off the play fake, Barrett. And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Back to throw Barrett. He's going to loft one. This is intercepted. Picked off here by Jimmy Smith. And it's a big turnover there on the final play of the quarter. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
Just week 1, but already plenty of intrigue with the games going on, and this one no different as we come up on a 1st and 10.
Gun! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
From the shotgun, here's Barrett. Steps away to his left. Fighting to stay upright inside the 10. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. Able to find a lot of empty space there, picking up the first down and a 21-yard gain. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown, and that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. They come out here in the eye.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
On the ground, Geis, and this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Redskins. It's their quarterback scoring on the sneak from a yard out. And the Redskins have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. Now an important extra point here to stretch this lead to a field goal. Extra point good by Hopkins, and that gives them a 3-point lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles coming out as they get ready. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Brissett to throw on 1st. Throwing left side, it's complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A gain of 32 that time.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
On first down, Abdullah. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Brissett now on second down. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
Brissett sets to throw it. And he finds a man on a crossing route. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
Second down, Brissett. A dump off for Abdullah. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 18 yards there, and it'll be a first and goal.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up second and goal.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play, stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. It makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
He's going to get it running right. And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. Orleans Darkwa, already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Eagles have moved out in front here in the fourth quarter. Elliott good on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Elliott now to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he spins through. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Redskins offense now, they head back onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
No, check, Patriot!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. He's back to throw. Eluding the press. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Eagles have recovered.
Well, that simply is a missed opportunity. They're in position. If they take the ball downfield and score, they got a chance to win the game. Instead, they cough it up. I don't think next week at practice is going to be a whole lot of fun for him.
On the other side, no bigger time to force a turnover when you've got that small lead.
Yeah, and when you look at it from the offense's perspective, taking care of the ball is so important. I know they're going to have all kind of ball security drills in practice all next week.
And holding it may be the wrong decision as he stopped in the backfield. The Redskins now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. 2nd and 12, and you'd have to assume another all-out effort to stop the run is coming.
Here we go. White 90. White 90.
Now it looks like he'll throw here. And this is Ertz with it, right side. The Redskins looking for another timeout, and they get it. As they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Here we go. White 90. White 90.
Brissett looks to throw. Steps away. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. And the kick by Elliott is good. And that'll make this a 7-point game. From a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a 1-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field. They're down here in a 1-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
They have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. Trying to improvise. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Detroit!
He'll look to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hodges. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 15 yards through the air and a first down. Huge first down, gotta hurry.
Yeah, now they have to get up there, get set, and then spike it.
And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped, but I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
Detroit!
Back to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that'll make this a 2nd down. Back to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Richardson. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the football game. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw. And he is across and in for the score. And now they can tie the game in the final stages with the extra point.
Or they can go for 2 and go for the win.
So getting the big touchdown they needed late in the 4th. Now what do? You conservative and just tie it up?
No, I think you put your practice into game situation. Go as fast as possible. You already have your play call ready to go. Go for 2 and decide it right now.
So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this 4th quarter. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense now, they head back on the field. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range, not much. A tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk-reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that.
Flex round! Flex round!
Here's Brissett. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Redskins offense now, they get set to take over here. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now. Throw that side is complete to Reed. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards on the play. So they come out throwing in the extra session and get a nice hookup right away.
Tells you a lot about what a coach feels about his team, doesn't it? That type of a play in overtime. So many people in this situation play not to lose instead of playing to win. That throw there tells you exactly what they're trying to get done.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And that's incomplete. He was looking for Jamison Crowder there. That'll bring up 2nd down. As a fan of the NFL, for an opener, you can't ask for much more than this overtime in Week 1.
I know it's hard to believe that some people may not have been watching our game, but I'll bet through social media they found out this one was snug and getting into overtime, and they flipped over here in a hurry. This is fantastic. If you're a fan of ball, you love these types of games.
Oh, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. A costly mistake here in OT.
And you know what they say when you throw an interception like that in overtime? You don't usually get a chance to throw a second one. I mean, I'm not sure the analytics on it. Let's ask Marvin, our statistician, to ring that down for us. That's typically how coaches and teams feel about you. Throw one, you likely cost yourself the game.
Ohio! Flex round! Flex round!
Now a first throw here in overtime. He can't avoid the pressure. Redskins get there.
Got to give him points for the attempt, but there's just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the area. Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down.
Flex round! Flex round!
Out of the gun, Brissett. And the pressure gets to him again.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long.
Ohio!
From the shotgun, it's Brissett. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. The scramble good for a nice gain of 10 yards, but still fourth down.
I thought he did a pretty good job there to get back what he could, but let's face it, that sack on second down, talk about throwing a wrench into the works. He certainly did.
Yeah, he did everything he could there trying to pick up some positive yardage, and he did, but not enough. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. He'll return it from the 6. Oh, twisting away. Spinning again. Penalty stings big time there. Wipes away a very good return.
And they work on it so hard because the goal is give yourself some space for your offense to really work. Try and gain an additional first down outside the 20 or 25-yard line. Instead, this one's going to come back.
They'll hand it down to Geis. And he'll lose yardage here. Going down back at the 28. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. This being their second opportunity in overtime, third overall drive, see if they can settle into a rhythm.
And that's what you're looking for. Get a few first downs, move the ball downfield, have some confidence, get yourself in a spot where you can at least kick a field goal to win it. But I tell you this, if I'm the play caller, I'm looking at that part of my sheet that says playmakers. Get the ball in their hands, critical situation, now's their time.
He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at third down.
Looked at me like they adopted what my kindergarten teacher always said. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And finally, able to hold him in check. He'd been carving him up running the ball.
That's the first time I think I've seen where the coverage was good downfield and they accounted for him and stopped him for a short pickup.
Yeah, I don't think it was a big adjustment, but much more emphasis on making sure they knew where he was when he decided to take off and go.
On third down, Barrett. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line. Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll hit him for a loss as he's back to his 2-yard line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They'll run again now with Darquan. And he'll get him a little bit of breathing room across the 5 to the 6-yard line. The Redskins looking for another timeout, and they get it. They'll be left with just one remaining here at OT. The Eagles on third down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, here's Brissett. A bullet throw, but incomplete. I know there may be temptation to go for it here in overtime, but you have to punt the football.
I like how emphatic you are about it because I know the tendency is, as a player, let's go get this thing. You're actually telling your coach, come on, coach, we can get it. We have that play call. And the head coach has to remember, that play call likely isn't there. Punt the ball away. Punt it away. Be smart.
Trust your defense.
Trust them.
The punt team on now is from their end zone. They get it away. And it's fielded at the 34. A good return there, 17 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And the points, they have come fast and furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you? Because you're either thinking, my replacement may get an opportunity.
Your head better be on a swivel.
Totally. Or maybe I just need to get out of the game for a while because I just can't slow these guys down. They've got to figure out a way to disrupt these offenses. And typically, one guy.
And he's into the end zone for the touchdown and a game winner in OT. Partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, trying to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters what you wanted, but how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.
So for Washington, it was a game that could have gone either way, but they get the touchdown in overtime to secure the Week 1 victory. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Dallas Cowboys. Meanwhile, for the Eagles, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Cleveland to take on the Browns. And for Charles Davis...